The Chair notes the presence of our colleagues. Well, we don't note the presence of anybody because there's not anybody else here. There we go. The Chair notes the presence of our colleagues from the full Committee of Oversight and Government Reform. We appreciate your interest in the topic and welcome your participation today. I ask unanimous consent that all members of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform be allowed to fully participate in today's hearing. Without objection, so ordered. Well, good afternoon. Today our subcommittee is going to examine the management deficiencies that have led the Government Accountability Office, or GAO, to once again add the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement, or BSEE as it's known, to its high-risk list. While this report notes that BSEE has made an effort to resolve some of the issues previously outlined by GAO, there's still substantial room for improvement. And today we'll explore the lingering issues in hopes that we can determine some comprehensive solutions. Before we get to these issues, I'd like to thank the GAO and its staff for the hard work they've done in this issue area. And I'm especially glad to know that the GAO has a new report on the subject that it released just this morning. And I look forward to hearing more about that from Frank Rusco of the GAO, appearing here today. Thank you for coming. I would also like to thank Mr. Richard Cardinelli, the Acting Secretary for Lands and Minerals at the Department of Interior. Mr. Cardinelli is a career employee who has extensive experience in the Office of Land and Minerals. I'm also thankful that he is here today as well to provide this perspective from the last several years and shed some light on what's going on at BSEE. Thank you for coming. Leadership seems to be a continual problem at BSEE since its formation after the Deepwater Horizon incident. Several whistleblowers and now the GAO have highlighted these issues. Data supports the GAO's conclusion as the 2016 Employee Viewpoint Survey found that regional personnel scored BSEE's leadership at 42.7 out of 100. Current Acting Director Margaret Schneider, who spent 30 years at the Environmental Protection Agency before joining BSEE in 2010, has been specifically mentioned as one of the problems. The GAO has found a disconnect and, more importantly, a distrust between BSEE headquarters and its region. BSEE leadership has consistently hired contractors to try to fix its problem rather than using its own knowledgeable and experienced personnel. This distrust has caused significant duplication and reduced the agency's efficiency. These problems are so deep that some regional staff were discouraged from talking with the GAO, and some were even concerned about retaliation. Another problem facing BSEE is Integrity and Professional Responsibility Advisor, a group that exists to investigate allegations of misconduct and unethical behavior. This group follows unclear and inconsistent guidance, which appears to have undermined trust in its activities. Regional staff are concerned that this group is abusing its power and retaliating against employees, thereby deterring employees from speaking up and inhibiting agency transparency. These problems with leadership and trust have trickled down effects throughout BSEE's portfolio. GAO found a number of duplicative measures that have been fruitlessly implemented, which have resulted in the loss of valuable time and revenue. For example, BSEE hired 2 separate contractors to conduct simultaneous environmental risk assessment. This unfortunately resulted in 2 uncoordinated reports lacking quality. Had the 2 groups communicated with one another during their assessments, the final reports could have been substantially improved. Not only is this an inefficient way to run an agency, it's a waste of taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. Despite these problems, I'm hopeful Secretary Zinke will ride in and be able to take a good look at the Bureau staff and put in a leadership team at BSEE to fix the divide between headquarters and the region. I'll now recognize the Ranking Member, Ms. Plaskett, for her opening statement.